I'm Charlie Hunter with the Lightning News Update, and here is what you need to know. Apple concluded their yearly event with the unveiling of the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14 Plus. The iPhone 14 line would be the first line of smartphones to only support eSIM technology in the US, which Apple plans to roll out further in the future. The iPhone 14 Plus will also be the first Plus branded iPhone to release since the iPhone 8 Plus in 2017. The iPhone 14 Pro is the first iPhone to radically change the design of the notch, which has largely stayed the same since the iPhone 10 from 2017. To accommodate for the notch's new design, they created a feature called the Dynamic Island. Here's what Apple has to say about the feature. On iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max, you can check alerts and current activity in progress, such as music that's playing, your timer, an AirDrop connection, and directions from maps in the Dynamic Island on the home screen or in any app. The Dynamic Island appears whenever your iPhone is unlocked. Overall, the event coincided with the release of iOS 16, which offers a major overhaul to the lock screen among various newer changes. In other news, the British regulatory organisation OFCOM says they will be conducting an inquiry on the world's biggest tech companies to ensure that their dominance in areas such as cloud computing, messaging, and smart devices works for the people and businesses of Britain. The regulator will firstly focus on Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, all of which, according to Ofcom, collectively generate around 81% of revenues in the UK public cloud infrastructure services market, with their respective Amazon Workspaces, Azure, and Google Cloud services. Major organisations in the UK have grown reliant on these services, including government organisations like MI5, MI6, the Government Communications Headquarters, and the Ministry of Defence. In 2018, less than 10% of all businesses' global IT spending was for public cloud services. This rose sharply to reach 17% in 2021 as the COVID-19 pandemic increased the need for remote working. Analysts are projecting that number to rise even further to 45% by 2026. Later, they'll also be inquiring into messaging and collaboration apps like WhatsApp, FaceTime, and Zoom, saying that they are, quote, interested in how they are affecting the role of traditional calling and messaging. Finally, Ofcom will focus on smart speakers and other Internet of Things home devices. Depending on their findings, Ofcom will do one of the following: take competition or consumer enforcement action, make a market investigation reference to the Competition and Markets Authority, accept undertakings in lieu of making a market investigation reference. In other news, the world of esports is constantly on the rise. This, of course, brings its own set of problems. G2 Esports, a prominent organization in the Valorant esports scene, has recently had a major deal with Xset Esports terminated after the G2 CEO Carlos posted a video of him partying with the Tate brothers on Twitter. This deal falling through after almost being complete has taken job opportunities from players of both organizations. The deal was ended after Riot Games, the publisher of the video game Valorant, didn't accept G2 Esports into their now franchised and exclusive Valorant Champions tournament. G2 not being accepted to the tournament removed their need for Xset's players. Xset Zekken had this to say on Twitter: having to explain to my mum how Andrew Tate cost me a job is not where I thought I would be a month ago. That's all on this story for now. That is all for your news update this week. We'll be here to do it all again next week, but if you want more from us in the meanwhile, you can follow our social media at Lightning News TV. That's on both Instagram and Twitter. You can also follow me personally at CharlieHunter_ on Twitter and as Charlie Hunter on YouTube. Links to all my channels will be available in the video's description. But for now, that's the news. Good night.